My buddy will be here tomorrow, and we got another good episode for you tomorrow, guys. We have the WCW episode. Should be interesting, so you guys will really enjoy that one. Starting off with some sad news today before we dig into Raw recap. Sika from the Wild Samoans, Sika Noya, Roman Reigns' father, has unfortunately passed away, so condolences to Roman Reigns and family. Yeah, he was one half of probably one of the best tag teams in professional wrestling. The Wild Samoans, Afa and Sika, they were incredibly talented guys, and it's a sad day for sure for wrestling, absolutely. We'll dive into the show. Obviously, Raw started off with Drew McIntyre addressing the whole CM Punk situation, him stealing the bracelet from CM Punk on SmackDown, which we've seen, and putting himself into another title shot at Money in the Bank, well, hopefully qualifying to get into Money in the Bank, but we'll get to the qualifiers in a second. Yeah, so that was an interesting start for the show. Definitely intrigued where they go with this with CM Punk and Drew McIntyre. I think Drew's in for a world of hurt because I think Punk's going to have some revenge on his mind come Money in the Bank. So Drew might think that he might be getting that briefcase, but I don't think that Punk's going to let him get that briefcase. It'd be very interesting to see what happens there. Alba Fire and Isla Dawn, the new tag team champions were in action on Monday night with the titles on the line against Katana Chance and Caden Carter. Unfortunately, the match ended in no contest. So I'm interested to see where they go with that one. Liv Morgan, which we'll touch on in a second, kind of swung a deal to get the Judgment Day tag team title shot on Monday Night Raw. And in the main event, it was Finn Balor and JD McDonough versus the Awesome Truth, which was an amazing match. Very well done. Some really cool spots. Liv Morgan came out there, interfered kind of distracted R-Truth a little bit in that one. And JD McDonough and Finn Balor win the tag team titles, so Balor and JD are back tag team champions. Judgment Day have their belts back, thanks to Liv Morgan, who's, I think, either trying to get into the group or trying to get with Dominic somehow, I'm not sure. Trying to mess up what Rhea Ripley has there. So it'll be very interesting to see what happens when Rhea Ripley comes back to WWE with everything that's going on with Liv Morgan right now. So definitely intrigued there. Chad Gable basically came back from the dead. If you've seen the previous Monday with the Wyatt Six, you know that Chad Gable was part of the assault on the roster. Gable healed up from his injuries. He was fine. Entered into the Money in the Bank qualifier. Went against Braun Strowman and Big Bronson Reed. In the end, it was Chad Gable coming out on top with a moonsault, punching his ticket to Money in the Bank ladder match. What a team we have so far in that ladder match. You got Jey Uso, Andrade, Carmelo Hayes, and now Chad Gable. This is going to be an epic match. This is so good. So good right now. Braun Breaker's match ended in no contest. Obviously, Sheamus came out, interfered to try to help him. Ended up costing him the match. We'll touch on Braun Breaker again in a second. Kofi Kingston fought Karrion Kross. They had the build-up for the Karrion Kross match. Karrion Kross ended up coming out with the win by a distraction from the AOP and Paul Ellering as they were attacking Xavier Woods. So definitely intrigued to see where they go with this storyline with the AOP and the Final Testament against the New Day. So very cool stuff right there on Raw. Digging in, we got some banger matches for but we got some big banger matches for Money in the Bank. They just announced Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton, and Kevin Owens are going to go against the Bloodline. We got Seth freaking Rollins versus Damian Priest. Interesting stipulation here, because if Seth Rollins beats Damian Priest at Money in the Bank, Damian Priest has to leave the Judgment Day. But if Priest beats Seth Rollins, no more title shots for Seth Rollins. So I'm definitely intrigued to see where they go with this. It's going to be a heck of a match. Anytime that Seth Rollins is in action, you definitely don't want to miss it. He's definitely one of the best wrestlers in WWE today. So him and Priest are going to put on an absolute show. Sami Zayn versus Braun Breaker. Now this is a match I'm super excited about. I've really loved the addition of Braun Breaker in WWE. I really like what he's done there. He's been awesome. He's coming off the draft, absolutely ran through everybody. So I'm definitely intrigued to see what Braun Breaker does in his match with Sami Zayn. I'm definitely super excited for that one. Well, the part that I didn't touch on yet was in the match with Chad Gable. At the end of the match, the lights went out. The Wyatt Six came out. Well, one half of them. Nikki Cross came out and she brought a tape. In the tape, it said "Play Me." It was for Pat McAfee, who unfortunately wasn't there due to family reasons. And then we seen one of the oddest videos, but I think one of the best character videos for sure from Taylor Rotunda, aka Uncle Howdy. The conversation with Uncle Howdy and Taylor himself was really, really cool. Definitely has me intrigued with what they're doing with this Wyatt Six stuff. It's definitely some of the best stuff I think that WWE's put out there in a long time, and Taylor Rotunda is absolutely nailing this. There's some tough stuff in there for sure about his brother and stuff like that. Definitely intrigued to see where the Wyatt Six go from here, what's next for them. If they're going to cost Gable at Money in the Bank, if they're going to get involved in Cross's match. It's definitely intriguing to see where they're going with this. But yeah, no, Raw was a wicked event this weekend. We got some cool qualifiers coming up for you guys next week, as we got Sheamus versus Drew McIntyre versus Ilya Dragunov, which is another Money in the Bank qualifier match next week. On the female side, we got another good one, as Zoe Starks goes against Dakota Kai and Ivy Neville to get into the women's side of the Money in the Bank. And then Zelina Vega gets her shot at the women's tag team, at the women's title, as she goes against Liv Morgan. So definitely intrigued for that. Zelina's had so many chances at this women's title. It would be nice to see her get the W, but unfortunately I think Liv Morgan's going to retain, because they're probably going to want to keep the title on Liv. I think at least till SummerSlam, maybe when Rhea's back, that they'll eventually have that match. As long as Rhea's back by then, I think that's the main goal. And we got Dominic Mysterio versus Rey Mysterio again on Monday Night Raw. So I'm definitely intrigued with that one. Raw was great overall, guys. So if you did watch Raw, Raw was fantastic overall. I'm really intrigued with what they're doing with the McIntyre stuff with CM Punk, with the Final Testament. 2009 Friday the 13th is underrated, the best in the series. Yeah, I like that one. That one's pretty cool. I do have his autograph up there. I got Derek Mears up there over on, I believe it's on that side. Yeah, Derek Mears. But yeah, man, that's what we got for Raw. With the Wyatt Six stuff, we got some cool matches that were named for this week. For Raw, the qualifier with Drew McIntyre, Dragunov and Sheamus. Starks, Dakota Kai, Ivy Neville, the Women's Championship match with Liv Morgan taking on Zelina Vega, and Rey Mysterio taking on Dominic Mysterio. Definitely going to be interesting Monday Night Raw. Definitely have to watch that one. I'm really liking what WWE is doing. They're definitely cooking. They just announced today that Indianapolis in 2025 is going to be getting the Royal Rumble. They're going to be getting WrestleMania, and I believe they're going to be getting SummerSlam, as the three of them that they announced for that. As well as when they move to Netflix, there's going to be basically no censorship. So we're looking to go back to TVMA or TV14A for WWE in the move to Netflix. So I'm definitely intrigued to see where they go there, kind of what kind of boundaries and stuff they're going to push with the new style for WWE. It's already getting a little edgy with the content that they have right now with the Liv Morgan stuff and Dominic Mysterio kind of stuff. But next year, when they go strictly to Netflix, I'm intrigued to see kind of how much further they can take this. So yeah, guys, if you're just joining, we were just breaking down Raw, all the cool stuff about Raw, the cool matches for Money in the Bank. So if you guys are excited for Money in the Bank, let me know. It's going to be a banger. It's in Toronto. 3 nights. You got SmackDown on the Friday, Money in the Bank on the Saturday, and for you NXT fans, we got NXT Heatwave on the 7th, followed by more wrestling in Canada on the 8th of July at Canadian Tire Center in Ottawa, Ontario for Monday Night Raw, which I will be attending. So there won't be a Raw recap for that one as I will be there. But Money in the Bank, let's break that down quickly with the matches that we know that are officially added before we head into SmackDown. We know Randy Orton, Cody Rhodes, and Kevin Owens are going to be taking on the Bloodline. We know that Seth Rollins is going to be taking on Damian Priest, with the cool stipulation that if Seth Rollins wins, Damian Priest has to leave the Judgment Day. If Damian Priest wins, no more title shots for Seth Rollins. Definitely a lot on the line in that one. Of course, you got the Money in the Bank matches for the men's and the women's side. On the men's side, so far, we got Jey Uso, we got Andrade, Chad Gable, and Carmelo Hayes. 2 more spots added for that one coming up. On the women's side, it's looking just as strong. So definitely excited for that. Chelsea Green just qualified for the women's side of things, so definitely intrigued where they go with that one for sure. And the match that I'm most excited for that just got announced on Raw this past Monday is Sami Zayn versus Bron Breakker. Braun's big chance at the title. I'm so excited for this. Bron Breakker has been nothing short of an animal since making his debut on Monday Night Raw. Absolutely running through everybody. Well, Sami's been a tough challenger for a lot of people in this company. I think that Bron Breakker gives him the most dangerous opponent that he's faced yet in WWE. I think Bron Breakker is going to bring a lot to that match with Sami Zayn, and that could potentially be one of the highlights on that card. Outside of the Cody Rhodes match with the Bloodline, which obviously is going to set up the SummerSlam, because what they're looking at right now for the main event for SummerSlam is to have Cody Rhodes headline SummerSlam against Solo Sikoa is the main plan right now. So with that in place for the plan for SummerSlam, potentially Rhea Ripley coming back for SummerSlam, hopefully, fingers crossed. And also for SummerSlam, they are still looking, but they're not quite 100% sure yet on CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre. But I think this match will happen. I think Punk's just off right now just to get the clearance so that he can come back for the match. So definitely intrigued there. I think we're not done with Punk and McIntyre yet, especially at Money in the Bank. If Drew's close, I think you see CM Punk get revenge for what McIntyre did to him on Friday. Definitely going to be very intriguing, guys. So that's the Monday Night Raw recap. Tomorrow we got an epic show for you guys as well. Tomorrow we're going to be doing a review of Dark Side of the Ring's Who Killed WCW. We're going to go over our thoughts with WCW, what we think that they should have done better, who we think is personally to blame for it potentially going under, and also what we think that they could have done better. So stay tuned tomorrow. We got a great show for you guys, breaking down the Who Killed WCW series. So you don't want to miss that one. If you're big fans of Dark Side of the Ring, we're going to do a review on it, and we're going to basically break down everything WCW with that as well. If you guys want to see AEW versions of this show, let me know, because we can also do AEW versions of this show. So if you're big fans of AEW, guys, this weekend is Forbidden Door, AEW's premier event, one of them. I got some great matches for Forbidden Door, as you got Swerve Strickland taking on Will Ospreay for the AEW World Championship. You got Hechicero versus MJF. You have Jon Moxley versus Tetsuya Naito for the NWJP Heavyweight Championship. You have Sasha Banks, a.k.a. Mercedes Moné, versus Stephanie Vacour for the NJPW Strong Women's Championship. Also online is the TBS Women's Championship. So there's 4 big matches already. plus the TNT title ladder match. A lot of big stuff, guys, for Forbidden Door. It's going to be a good event. So if you're big fans of NJPW and you're big fans of AEW, you don't want to miss Forbidden Door, guys. Forbidden Door is always one of those events that's always edge of your seat action with them. Always great matches. Will Ospreay never really disappoints when he's in a match. He's always been fantastic to watch. Definitely intrigued to see what they do with it, where they go with this one. If they put the title on Ospreay yet, or if they have Swerve retain and put the title on the line again at All In Wembley Stadium. So definitely it's a good time to be a wrestling fan. Right now, though, even though I like AEW and I like WWE, I think right now WWE is doing it a lot better. I'm more invested, I find myself personally, in the storylines with WWE. I mean, I like what they're doing with the Dominic Mysterio and Liv Morgan stuff. I like what they're doing with the Drew McIntyre and CM Punk stuff. I think that's going really good. Braun Breaker's got a great storyline going right now with Sami Zayn. The tag team titles is a good story with Judgment Day winning them back. So much good stuff there. The women's title match, obviously, Zelina Vega is getting another chance. So I'm definitely intrigued to see what they do with that one. The Wyatt Six has basically brought me back to wrestling again. Really love what they're doing with the Wyatt Six. I think this is a huge opportunity for Nikki Cross, for Dexter Lumis, for Joe Gacy, and for Uncle Howdy himself, Bo Dallas, to really showcase their skills. And he's definitely done it a lot with his promo work. His promo work has gotten a lot better. This has been the best version, I think, of Uncle Howdy and the Wyatt Six. It's such a beautiful tribute to Bray. I think we're going to be in for some good stuff with that one. Definitely intrigued to see what they do, if they have another attack on Gable, or if they wait and they're going to pull the trigger on their attack for Pat McAfee next week. So it's always interesting to see kind of what direction the Wyatt Six are going to go into and who's going to become a target every week. So I'm definitely intrigued with what they're doing with that. It's absolutely fantastic. WWE, you are cooking, guys. You are doing amazing stuff. And if you didn't catch at the top of the hour, we had some sad news that Sika from the Wild Samoans, Roman Reigns' father, has unfortunately passed away today. So thoughts and prayers to Roman Reigns and family. Yeah, he was one half of the Wild Samoans, one of the best tag teams in professional wrestling. Huge part of the Samoan dynasty. Afa and Sika were big parts of that. Obviously, Roman being their son. Yeah, it's sad news in wrestling that he has passed on. But his memories will live on forever. His matches will definitely live on forever. Afa and Sika were definitely one of the best tag teams in professional wrestling, the Wild Samoans. I'd put them right up there with the Hart Foundation, with Demolition, Legion of Doom, all those guys. They were absolutely fantastic. So there you have it, guys. That's for Raw. That's the Raw recap. Everything that you missed on Monday Night Raw, all done right here. I'll get you caught up for next week quickly before I sign off one last time. We got a qualifier match. We got Sheamus versus Drew McIntyre versus Ilya Dragunov to qualify for the Money in the Bank matchup. We got another qualifier on the women's side. Zoe Starks, Dakota Kai, and Ivy Neville will tie up on Monday night. We have Zelina Vega versus Liv Morgan for the Women's World Championship on Monday Night Raw next week, as well as Dominic Mysterio versus Rey Mysterio next week on Raw, guys. So next week we got a major good card for Raw next week. Super excited for that one. And we don't know what the Wyatt Six are going to do next week, so I'm definitely intrigued on that one as well. So there you have it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the Raw recap, and hope you guys have a great night, and we will see you tomorrow for WCW. Who Killed WCW, the review of the show, plus thoughts and analysis of what we think that they could have done better, who we think is to blame. My buddy will be joining me tomorrow for tomorrow's episode, as we do watch Dynamite on Wednesdays, so definitely stay tuned for that one. You're going to love it. If you haven't subscribed already, guys, definitely feel free to subscribe. We got 95 subscribers. Appreciate every single one of you guys popping on the video, checking it out. Really love what you guys are doing, and that you guys are loving the content that we're putting out. It's absolutely amazing. Wrestling, I never thought was going to take off, but these seem to be doing okay, so I'm definitely intrigued to do more of these for you guys. If you guys want to just see like pay-per-view breakdowns, we can just switch it up from doing the recaps of the shows to the complete breakdowns of the pay-per-views, if you guys would prefer that and you think that would be better to do that one. So thank you so much, guys, for joining me for the Raw recap, and we will see you on the next one. Have a great night.